Hi there, I'm Ginny, Jelly Belly. As you may know, Yumi is in the house and Pika has joined us and she's up on the top there sleeping. So we've got a whole gang of people watching and listening to this story. So we're moving on in The Wild Women of Lake Anna, and we're on the chapter that's called The Plan Develops. Sounds intriguing, doesn't it? The more Bailey thought about her mother's email, the sadder she became. Maybe if I weren't so boring, she would have taken me along to Costa Rica. May probably wouldn't have taken me either, Bailey said to the kittens after she had gone to bed. Shadow jumped on her feet. Ouch, cut that out. Bailey wiggled her toes so he would grab them with his paws. That was a game they played every night. Ow, she said, no biting, you're too rough. It's exactly what these two kittens do. As Bailey teased the kittens with her feet, she continued to worry. If her mother didn't think she was adventurous enough to live with her, perhaps Sugar felt the same way. After all, they were all part of the wild women of the family. Bailey needed to have an adventure of her own. Maybe then her mother would realize she was ready for a big adventure too. Then it came to her. She quickly got out of bed, tumbling the surprised kittens to the floor. She turned on the lamp on her desk and looked through her papers from the Historical Society. In the middle of the pile was the map of the former gold mine locations. She studied the one nearest to Sugar's house, the one on a tributary to Contrary Creek. If Sugar was right and the logging road led up to the former mining site, then Bailey might be able to locate it. Maybe she could find evidence of it to bring back for her report. She could prove that she, too, could be adventurous. I'll have to find a time to go exploring when Sugar isn't around. She probably wouldn't want me to go in the woods alone, Bailey thought. She decided to make a list of what she would need to take with her. Her backpack, heavy shoes, her warm jacket, knit cap, and gloves. Also, a trowel from Sugar's set of garden tools in case she needed to dig, a pie tin to pan for gold, and something to eat. She tried to think if there was anything else. May would have taken with her on a spying mission. Bailey added double fudge cookies to the list. She looked up at the picture of May and whispered, I'm going to have an adventure of my own. After hiding her list in her desk drawer under some postcards her mother had sent, with pictures of sloths, toucans, and iguanas, Bailey climbed back into bed. Sally and Shadow were waiting for her, ready to resume their toe-grabbing game. Here's just a little drawing of Bailey's desk, and you can see one of the cats behind the desk. Isn't that cute? Okay, we'll do another chapter here. This is called, ooh, this is good, Spying Mission. Ooh, it's getting exciting. Ever since she had made the list of what to take when she looked for the gold mine, Bailey felt better. She often took her homework to the attic where she would put on May's hat and sit in the dormer window. She decided to hide her notebook where she kept her plans and observations under the hat box. She wrote, Logging Road. A good spy would notice little details about it. On her way to and from the bus stop, she paid more attention to where it went in the woods. After a few days, she was surprised to see that the usual branches and brush blocking the entrance seemed to be moved. They were not always in the same place. Bailey didn't think Sugar was the one who had done it because she had only seen her grandmother walking out of the woods a couple of times. One afternoon, Bailey rode her bike down to the logging road and back just to see how long it took. It was about 3 minutes. She wrote that in her notebook. She wanted to tell Emily about her plans, but was afraid her friend would blab to someone. Emily always blabbed. And Bailey didn't dare email Amber about it because Sugar might see the email. No, this was Bailey's secret adventure. Bailey also needed to find out when Sugar would be gone for a few hours so she would have time to walk back to the mine, gather her evidence, and return. But Sugar had no doctor's appointment and no trips to town scheduled in the next few days. Time was running out. The special reports were due next week. Bailey had almost finished writing her part of it and had made some charts and posters, but she really wanted to find evidence of the mine. "How's the report coming?" asked Sugar as she fixed a salad with lettuce, chopped green peppers, and sliced carrots. "I'm almost done," said Bailey. "Do you want to read it?" "I'd love to, honey," said Sugar. She sounded so genuinely interested and loving for a moment that Bailey wondered if she was wrong about Sugar wanting to get rid of her. But then her mother's email flashed into her mind. Something was definitely going on that nobody was telling her about. Her mother had been really nice to her, too, just before she announced that she was sending her away. So how could she trust Sugar? Her grandmother said, "Please set the table for me. Supper's about ready. Tomorrow after school, we'll have a treasure hunt in Richmond. I need to stop at a few secondhand stores to look for a different kitchen clock because this old one has stopped working, and for garden books. Maybe at the same time you can find some new books for Fern." Bailey knew that aside from whatever it was that Sugar was looking for, they would always find something unexpected. Sugar told her that it didn't matter if they needed it as long as it was a bargain. On the last treasure hunt, she found 4 large flower pots that she said would be good for planting pansies, a cast iron skillet that was perfect for bacon, and the sky blue lamp for Bailey's desk. On an earlier trip, she bought a white wooden desk with bookcases for Bailey. It had 3 drawers on the left side and a concealed one across the center for pencils and pens. And on a trip to Louisa, she found the red bicycle for Bailey, and it was still shiny. Wow. That's a fun way to shop, isn't it? Okay, so now here's the grandmother talking again. "Then, on Friday, I have to go to another meeting about the pollution. It starts at 4 o'clock, so I'll have a snack out for you when you get home from school and instructions about putting supper in the oven. I hope you don't mind," said Sugar. Bailey said, "I'll be fine." At first, when she had to come home to an empty house, she hated it, even though she said she didn't care. Without Sugar there, the big house seemed very quiet. It made strange creaking noises that sounded like ghost footsteps. Branches scraped against the windows when it was windy. She was getting more used to the sounds, but she had never looked forward to being alone until now. This would be her chance. Sugar continued, "We've got some new ideas about the pollution problem. If all of us in our group put our heads together, maybe we can finally figure things out. I'm more and more convinced that the pollution is deliberate. Someone is doing this on purpose." "How come?" asked Bailey as she put the butter substitute on the table. "We don't know. It could be the work of a kook or someone who wants to avoid dumping fees. It's just happening too often. And people around these parts know how to dispose of chemicals properly. I think it's someone who just wants to cause trouble, said Sugar. Someone would be that mean? Asked Bailey. Yup, there are mean people in the world. Not too many, but some, said Sugar. I hope the meeting doesn't go on too long. Get your homework done early, and we'll take a picnic out in the boat on Saturday, if it is warm enough. There are lots of nice coves around the lake that we haven't explored yet. Bailey only half heard what Sugar was saying about the boat trip. All she could think about was her spying mission to locate the gold mine. She was already imagining that she would find tools that the miners left behind and gold nuggets everywhere. She was sure the ground would be covered with gold. Okay, we'll do some more later. See ya.